We have been on a 5-day New England road trip with our most recent Facebook Marketplace purchase, our teardrop camper. We've officially made it all the way to New Hampshire, where we're at right now, where our goal is to fit in as much as possible in the White Mountains in less than 24 hours. From hiking to getting to the highest peak in the Northeast, and even a scenic drive with plenty of fall foliage to go around, we are ready for the challenge. Another 5 a.m. wake-up call. 2 hours driving. We gotta go attach this thing to the car, hit the road, get to New Hampshire. Early morning hike. Life on the road, baby. Here's the cozy fit for the morning. Got 2 layers on top. Shoes going on. It is so dark and quiet. If you're familiar with the White Mountain area, you'll know that there is a ton to do here, especially during the fall. We only have just a few hours in the area, so we're kicking it off with one of the most popular hikes in Franconia Notch State Park called Artist Bluff. This hike is known to be just straight up half a mile, depending on whether you want to do the Bald Mountain Loop or just the Artist Bluff half-mile trail. So we are just climbing up some rocks right now. Be warned, it is straight up, but only half a mile. We've made it to the top of Artist Bluff. Honestly, it was kind of easy to get up here. It is straight up for half a mile, but because it's only half a mile, it doesn't like make you lethargic or anything. The view is beautiful at sunrise. Now, couple warnings. There are a 1,000,001 people here, and it smells really bad, if I'm being completely honest.
Dirty water.
It smells like half sewer and half BO, so just be warned that you're not going to get the fresh mountain air that you've wanted this whole time when you come to New Hampshire on this hike. Other than that, if this was all just to yourself, it would be beautiful. I'm sure it clears out in the winter and it would be just as beautiful with the snow on the lake. But because we're here in the middle of the fall at peak season, it's a little crowded. So if you're here and only for a little bit of time, this is definitely something you're going to want to do. Mount Washington is the highest peak in all of the Northeast, sitting at 6,288 feet. This mountain is known for having some of the worst weather in the world, and that's because it's the tallest peak with no trees to stop any bad weather from coming. The highest wind speed ever recorded was at the top of this mountain in 1934 at 231 miles per hour. Now, you can hike up this mountain, but you can also drive up the mountain, and that's what we're gonna do because the hike is 8 miles and we don't have time for that. So we are headed onto the Mount Washington Auto Road right now. The road is 7.6 miles long, and we hear it's supposed to be beautiful, but also a little bit scary because of the drop-offs on the edges. So there is a weight limit for inside of your car. So obviously not the car itself, but the contents inside the car, which is 900 pounds. So we are leaving our teardrop camper at the bottom of the road in a parking lot, and we're just taking our SUV up because of the weight limit. I think that's Mount Washington. Right there, right? That sounds right.
Looks like it.
I think that's it because it looks like the tallest peak around here. I can't believe this view. Also, for this area having the worst weather, this weather is perfect. Blue skies, beautiful, 60 degrees. I know it'll get colder up there, but it's supposed to be windy at the top. All right, that's enough. Let's go. When you come at their peak seasons, it's $65 total for one car, a driver, and an adult passenger. The price is steep, but so is the road to get to the top. Steep. And they need to maintain it, so it kind of makes sense. Plus, we both agree that if you're going to splurge on something in this area, this should be it. It was worth it. With the pass, you get the famous "This car climbed Mount Washington" bumper sticker, and on the back of it is a QR code to download their audio tour app. We listened to some of it, but then the views overtook our interest of what it was saying.
Wow. Is that the road up there?
Oh my gosh.
I know.
This is not real.
We've gotta be close.
Oh my god. It looks like we're driving into heaven.
How do you go any higher than this?
There's no way.
Oh my gosh.
How? Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap, first of all, it's freezing.
I think we're at mile like 6 out of 7.5. Oh my gosh. I just couldn't even imagine what Mount Everest would look like. Today the visibility is 50 miles, they said. I can't wait for the top.
On the road, you'll find so many pullouts where you can stop and just admire the mountains and watch the cars drive up and down the steep slope. At one of the stops, you have a great view of the train, which is another way to get to the top, but it is the most expensive option.
The building has chains on it so it doesn't blow away. We got the summit, visitor center, towers, and a gift shop.
It's funny. The lines you wait in these days for what you want to get pictures for. We're trying to get a picture at the Mount Washington summit. There's a long line, but you gotta do what you gotta do, am I right? We drove.
We drove up here, but you have other options. You could take a train right up here, which I think is more expensive, or you can hike the 8 miles straight up this mountain. I think we're 6,000 feet and it is cold. The temperature dropped 20 degrees.
Started at 50 degrees, it's 39 degrees up here. I personally think that this is worth the $60. This has been my favorite thing in New England so far.
Yes, best of you for sure.
Yeah. At the top of the mountain, there's like a whole place you could buy food. There's a post office. It's a tourist place. That's what it is. Mount Washington, literally amazing.
The journey's only halfway over.
It's finally time for us to have lunch, so we are walking the streets of North Conway, which honestly, this might be one of my favorite little mountain towns that we've been to. I love the colors of the buildings and the vibe that there is. There are a ton of restaurants to choose from, a ton of coffee shops, so many little shops to go in and get little souvenirs, of course. Everything is just so cute, quaint, yet really crowded. That just seems to be the theme of these types of towns though. We stopped into Zeb's General Store in North Conway. There's just a ton of like food that's popular in Vermont, New Hampshire, and then of course you have like the gift shop section with the hats and the shirts and the keychains and everything. It has a lot in here, but it also has a lot of popcorn flavors. I think we're gonna get the maple popcorn. I love maple syrup so much. There's literally maple butter here and maple cream. And I want it so badly, but it's like $17 for this. $16. I can't justify that. Okay. I got the small one. It's $7. Maple cream. The person at the cash register said this is delicious. We also got the maple kettle corn popcorn. Oh, that was loud.
Little Italian pick-me-up.
Little espresso.
Probably
That's
really
hot.
I'm scared.
I'm scared too. 2, 3. Oh, that's strong.
That'll wake you up.
Oh, that's strong. We walked around North Conway for a little bit, and then we just got lunch at Abenaki Trail Restaurant and Pub. We now are starting the hour-long drive across the Kancamagus Highway, which is a very scenic, popular highway that people take in this area of New Hampshire, especially during the fall where the leaves are changed and beautiful and bright and popping. And then of course you get the mountain scenery too, but there's a lot of pullovers and stops along the way that people can get out for and hike. This drive was laced with bright yellows, oranges, and reds, and looking back, this was the first time we both agreed we tried to fit way too much into one trip. We bounced from the Adirondacks to Stowe to the White Mountains within 3 days, and while it was amazing, next time we are sticking to one general area and fully immersing ourselves in it. For example, we would have loved to spend more time taking in each spot on this highway, but instead we were rushing to get to our next camp spot before it got too late. But still, we're very glad we came.
All right, we are our one stop before we're headed home. We are in a parking lot of a visitor center right now, and it's sloped enough. I don't think I have to detach or set up much, but we are both hungry, and so we are actually going to try to cook our food that we brought. We brought a bunch of food, haven't cooked any of it because we haven't had time. We've been eating a bunch of other good stuff, but I'm gonna pull out our little stovetop, boil some water, and have some chili mac, I think. Fill this up with water. How do I hold this? Camp stuff. Oh, we got fire, baby. We got fire, baby, yes! Alright, let's see if we can heat up some water. Alright, somewhere in this mess is our chili mac. I see ramen, which we never made. Sauce for gnocchi we never made. And here is a little super easy, spicy, smoky, dreamy mac. Ooh, this one is mine. Punch and potatoes, beans, and chili mac. So I think we're good. Just have to wait for the water to boil and heat it up. Erica's in there with her little, oh gosh, almost dropped that. Oh gosh, almost dropped that. Erica's in there with her little space heater. Tonight is our last night sleeping in this thing, so we're draining. We're not scared to run out the battery. It's still at like 85%. We don't really have to charge too much else, so we can just run this heater and really run the battery down and see what it can do. But I'm real proud of this self-made battery. I'll give you a more in-depth video in the future. Just comment below if that's something you want to see, because I'll break it down. But it's so simple and it worked so well. It's cranking that little heater in there, and that little heater we got, the 200-watt heater, warms it up perfectly. You just kick it on for a little bit, gets it to the right temperature, and then you can kick it off. All right, we got the little bubbles, and the heat feels nice on my hands. It's cold out here. Little bubbles. I'm so excited for food. I'm hungry. Let's go give Erica hers.
Uh-oh, thank you.
Maybe put it over there. I'm gonna grab mine.
Is this what van life is like?
Yeah.
I am gonna drop this on my warm, clean blanket.
You better not. It's gonna be hot. Oh, it's hot. Something just crunched.
What is that?
Is that
a
an
noodle?
uncooked noodle problem?
It's a noodle.
You hear that?
Yeah, I hear that.
A little crunchy still.
Oh. I don't like the crunch going on. It's spicy.
Yeah, I got some kick to it. The flavor's okay. By okay, I mean okay. Pretty average.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a lot better, if I'm being honest. I feel like we can finally call ourselves true camper people because we're sitting in a welcome center. Here's our setup. Here is our food boiling. But we were still hungry, so we are now making the mac and cheese that we bought. We're gonna need to do some serious laundry. Since this was our last night of the trip, we both agreed we loved having the ability to sleep in this teardrop camper for the 4 nights of the road trip. We had only had it for 2 weeks at this point, and unfortunately, this happened early the next morning.
It exploded. I want to take some of this stuff with me because it's worth money, but what?
I just don't know what to do. So bad. The full story of what happened will be out next week.
Parking lot Mac. Parking lot Mac.
Parking lot Mac.
Cooking up some cheese in the parking lot Mac. Oh, you're stirring her Mac in the middle of, where are we?
In Vermont?
Vermont?